Alright. I figured I'd start uploading since it went very well through uploading through my phone. So I figured I'd start doing that until I get internet, where then I can upload all my other videos that I have sitting on my computer waiting. Looks like it rained last night. Oh, look, the last three of her license plate is 666. Ain't that just wonderful? Trying to think. Oh, I forgot my belt again. Okay, gonna have to go back and get that. I've been forgetting my belt a lot lately. I know I don't park here, but oh well. All right, got my belt. Seatbelt. Traction control turned off, fully off, by holding the button down for 5 seconds. Left a little leaving tire marks. So I would let's see. Now, see, I would play music, but I don't want to be copywritten. So, unfortunately, no music. And I really have no idea what to talk about right now. Met this one guy at work. He looks just like this old barber I used to have out in California. This guy at work apparently has a very bad attitude towards people, and I just wanted to make it clear to him that I have nothing against him, and I'm new to the job, so I hope he doesn't, try to start something with me. Got his side of the story of why he has a bad attitude. What he told me his side was another coworker was leaning up against his locker, and he said to the guy that was leaning up to the locker, "Why are you leaning up against my locker?" Well, the lockers are right next to our table that's in the break room, so it's kind of hard not to be leaning up against somebody's locker. So just by hearing him ask that was a very rude thing to say. All he should have really said, at the very, very, very least, is, "Can you move, please?" Or, "Can you move?" Or he could have said, "I need to get to my locker." And most people will just move out of the way. You don't even really have to say anything. You just, stand there, and the person will look up at you, and you're like, point, and they'll move, because they know that somebody's trying to get into their locker. That was power shifting right there. So just by what he told me in his own words, yeah, he was being a dick. So in his own defense, he was being a dick. So you gotta be careful. I mean, I even told him, all he had to do was say, "Can you move?" And or "I need to get to my locker," or something like that. And that's far less worse than saying, why are you leaning on my locker?" Totally inappropriate. But I don't think it's really something that needed to be written up for. I wasn't there, so I couldn't get the tone of the situation, whether he literally blew up about it or whether he was perfectly calm about it. I'll never know. His side basically states that he was being calm about it, but the other party is saying that he was being belligerent. And being that the guy that said he was being belligerent is himself a nice, caring guy, I am going to tend to believe him. Anybody would, because he's jolly, typically jolly, happy. And I would tend to believe that he's the one that's telling the truth about the situation. both stories do kind of align with each other. The only difference being the tone is the deciding factor. Other than that, work is going good. The hardest part of the job actually is connecting the single point to the airplane. It's not like fueling a car where you gotta stick the fuel nozzle into the car. You actually literally have to connect it to the airplane and then twist it so that it locks in place, and then you got basically a second lock that prevents it from untwisting. And you got maybe about 15 feet of hose hanging down. The hose is probably about I would probably say the hose is about anywhere from 5 inches around to about 10 inches around, depending on the cart that the fueling cart you're using. And it weighs a lot. It probably weighs a lot, about the same amount as the Moosehead, which goes into the ground to suck the fuel out from the pipeline. However, the Moosehead, you don't have to lift up. You just have to put it inside the ground. Well, that's a lot different than hooking it up to the airplane. The airplane, the hookup is on the underside of the wing. So you have to lift it up, twist it, and lock it all pretty much in one motion, all the while holding it up to try to get it on there. And sometimes it doesn't seat properly, so you have to like twist it around and then try it from a different angle, and sometimes that doesn't work. But all in all, it takes about anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes to fuel an airplane, a passenger jet, depending on where it's going. Passenger jets from here to, I would say, New York would probably take more like 45 minutes to fuel, just because it needs extra fuel. The flight from Phoenix to Las Vegas only takes about, it varies about, I think the lowest I've seen was 15,000 pounds. The most I've seen is about 25,000 pounds. And that's just to get to Las Vegas. That's not even enough fuel to top off the tanks in the wings. A flight to, say, New York or Washington, D.C., that would typically fill up the wing tanks, the tanks in the wings, and go all and fuel the center tank and partially one of the reserve tanks, depending on what aircraft is flying it. Usually it's a Airbus 321. The Airbus 320 and 319 don't have auxiliary tanks. Oh, come on. Seriously? There's no train. Trying to think of what else to say while we sit here at this red light. I know. If you're in a manual transmission, I forget what they say you're supposed to do when you're at a red light. If the light is going to take more than a minute to change, I usually throw it into neutral and let off the clutch. If it's not going to take that long to change, I'll just keep on the clutch and keep it in first. Other than that, I don't really think it really matters. They say something about some kind of bearing wearing out or something like that, but I don't think that's really a factor. AAA, I used to work for them out in California. Still kind of getting over this cold. Right now I have kind of a stuffy nose. And I have this kind of, not really a cough, more like a clearing the throat thing. But that's pretty much that. There's a blue, or well, it's white Honda back there. You probably caught a glimpse of it. It has blue parts on it. Not like they didn't paint it or anything, type blue parts, but I find it weird and stupid at the same time. It just doesn't look good to me. It looks like crap. Anyways, I'm here at work, so I'm going to end the video.